Alright, hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Carol, thanks for your comment. Good to see you here. Today we're going to have a oud lesson. It's going to be a twofold oud lesson. We're going to have a beginner portion, really bare beginner portion for, this is going to be like your first lesson ever. And then we're going to have a beginner song, an easy oud song that you can learn at the other part. So thanks for joining me again. This month we have a promotion going on for the Easy Oud Songs courses that I have. I have Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1 is 10 essential oud songs, easy oud songs that you can learn for beginners. And then Volume 2 is the best of Farid Al-Atrash songs. And those courses are really good. I really like how they turned out. And all the notation is there, nice and clear. Make sure you check the link in the description because I'm going to be telling you all about the bonuses and that you'll be getting when you enroll this month. So check the newsletter link in the description, and if you're not already on the newsletter, you can sign up there and so that you can make sure that you'll hear about it. All right, so that's what we got going on this month. Got a couple exciting things happening. A little heads up that if you're into buying a new oud in the next few months, I have a great suggestion for you. I've been working with Sultan Instruments for the last, almost 8 years now in promoting their ouds. And this year we have designed an oud together. And it's a very exciting oud because I think that, I've been doing this for 10 years and I've heard all these kind of problems and challenges that people have when they first buy an oud. Now, this is not an entry-level oud, this is more of a mid-range level oud, but it's great for people who don't want to deal with the specific issues that come up when you buy your first oud and you're getting used to it. So I'm really excited about that. I have the oud here. I'll be doing a video on it soon, and yeah, we're going to be promoting it, and yeah, hopefully that will be something you're interested in. I've learned a lot over the last 10 years of teaching oud and talking to people who are interested in buying an oud. And this oud is the culmination of all the good things that you can find in a guitar and a beginner oud. You know, we've been taking some of the things that you can do with a guitar, or not with that you can do, but what some of the benefits that you have with a guitar, and we've applied them to the oud, so that there's some. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this and get this going. So that'll be coming up. So if please do follow the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. You'll be hearing about it in the next little while. Yeah, now for the oud lesson. It would be very helpful if you comment in the chat. Let me know how long you've been playing the oud. You know, if everyone here has been playing for some time, then I'm not going to go over the basics too much. We'll get right into playing the song. But let's imagine that you are a beginner and you're holding the oud for the first time. What do you do? Okay. Change my view here. Alright, so the first things first is that you need to hold the oud. So you need to first get your right leg up high. So you need to put it on a footstool or cross your legs, whatever is comfortable for you. And you have to place it there. And make it so that it's touching your chest. And it can be at a little bit of an angle, or it can be parallel to your chest, the soundboard. Ooh. And then you want to get your right hand around the oud, like so, as though you're giving somebody a headlock. Let's pretend we're not holding a risha at the moment. And the edge of the oud, the back of the oud, will kind of get snug in your forearm like this, and your bicep or your shoulder muscle will be supporting the back here. Whatever you do, try to avoid this kind of playing where your shoulder is really high and the angle of your attack is kind of like a guitar, like you're laying your arm on a guitar. The shoulder comes down, the arm comes down like this. And if you get your forearm somewhere in this zone, that would be excellent. Don't want to come down too vertical, otherwise it might aggravate you a little bit there. You want to be pulling the oud towards you. Hossein, good to see you here. Thanks for joining today from Iran. That's great. So you want to be kind of pulling the oud towards your body. And if you've got this right, if you've got these 3 points, the leg, the forearm, and then your chest and shoulder, bicep, whatever you use up back here, then you should be able to hold the oud eventually without the left hand. And you can grasp it. It does take some time. Give it a lot of time to get used to holding this thing. Alright, then now for the risha. So we want to imagine you are turning a knob or something on an amplifier or a volume knob. You use your index finger and your thumb. You want to grasp the tip of the risha like that. Let about 1 centimeter jutting out from your finger. You want it to come between the first knuckle and the tip of your finger here, and let it come out just like this. Have a nice slope with the thumb. This is really important. You want to support the risha from the top and the bottom. Okay? Then these other fingers just curl around and come nicely, gently into the palm right there. And then we get back into our headlock position here. You see how my index finger is kind of jutting forward as opposed to these other ones? That's because it's coming forward to meet the thumb so that it supports the risha on the top and the bottom. Alright, and then what you want to do is you want to pretend you're playing for the moment. Wave down, up, down, up. Use only the muscles in your forearm and your wrist, not the elbow. not like this. Just do this waving action. Gonna change something here. This is good. Okay. So do this waving action. Keep a pace. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then what I want you to do is just let the risha make contact with the strings wherever it lands. Feel the weight of your hand just kind of fall onto the oud. Now the basic stroke is a very sharp angle toward the soundboard, such that when the risha comes to the string, it will land on the string below. So let's practice doing that. Just do 1, 2, 3, 4. You can then practice this on all the strings. I won't spend too much time. Let's talk about the left hand now. For you who are just joining, please let me know how long you've been playing the oud. I don't want to do this too long if this is going to be too much review for you. We're just going to go through the basics of holding and playing the oud here. So the left hand, what the left hand does is it comes and gives a handshake to the neck. You want to bring the thumb to this little corner where the neck meets the peg box. That's a good place to start. And we have two main positions on the oud. We have one where our fingers are hitting each semitone. That means our first finger is all the way as far as we can go to the left, and that we would get the first note after the open string. So this is C or Do. We have C sharp or Do diez. And from there you have one finger per semitone, like so. The second position is where we shift that first finger a little bit to the right. And the thumb doesn't always have to follow exactly. It may move a little bit with the index finger, but in most cases it stays right around here, around that neck, that little joint. It can be a little bit farther, a little bit more to the left or the right. Hey, thanks for joining here from Dominican Republic and Japan. It's great to see you guys. Alright, so when you get in the second position, the first finger hits the D note on the first string. Do, Re, C, D. So that's the second position. Let's talk about what the hand is doing. So you come and give a handshake to the neck here, and there should be a little gap between the back of the thumb and the neck here. So your finger can come out behind there. It's a little bit difficult to see. There you go. And there's always contact being made at the bottom of the finger here. There's always contact as you go up the neck until you get here, then you have to shift up. Alright, and so the thumb and the index finger kind of follow each other as you go down the neck into other positions. But the first position that we're going to be looking at is the first position. That's usually the best. We'll also look at the second position a little bit. If you're a very bare beginner, I usually teach second position first because the first and the third finger are very strong compared to the pinky finger. When you're in first position, you use the pinky a little bit more for some of the basic notes on the oud. But yeah, that's what the left hand is doing. We've got that physicality here. Another thing that you can practice and pay attention to is how the wrist angle is. See, my wrist is very straight. My wrist is not bent like this. If you're a guitar player, or you used to play guitar, or you still do, avoid creating a big gap like this as you go down the neck. You don't want this big gaping hole here. You don't want that. You want to follow the neck like a violinist would. All right. So let's learn a few notes on the first string. We have C, Do. In first position, we would use the second finger to reach the note D. C, D. C, D. If you have any questions about the physicality of pressing the finger down to the string, please let me know in the comments. But you're using the meaty part of your finger for the most part. And your fingers should always be curled. The knuckles should always be round. We don't want to ever flatten out the knuckle. That might cause injury, and it's just not good technique. So we have C, D, and the next basic note that we have is E. We use the pinky. This is very difficult to stretch up there. As we go from one note to another, D to E, Re to Mi, you keep the middle finger there, because in case you come back to the Re note, then you have that finger there already, and it's very efficient. So let's do a simple exercise. Now, if this is difficult, then I want you to go into the second position, use the first finger for D, and the third finger for E. Like so. See how the middle finger is just hanging out there in the middle of those two fingers? So it doesn't matter which position you want to do. If you're comfortable using the pinky finger for now, use the first position, that's great. We use both these positions equally in oud playing, and so we got to learn both of them anyway. So it doesn't really matter at the beginning. You can do it like this. So that's your first oud lesson. The next YouTube live, we're going to do a little bit more of this, but we're going to build on this idea, and we're going to go through the other notes on the oud. All right. So any questions so far? Please let me know in the comments. Now we're going to go learn a basic oud song, and let me know if you have any more advanced questions too. I'm happy to answer. Just get them down on the chat. That'd be great. We'll look at them all later. So we're going to learn this song. It's a Palestinian folk traditional song, and it's called Ya Zarif Ad-Dul. Here we go. You can see the title here. Ya Zarif Ad-Dul. And I've transcribed a beginner version as well as an advanced version. So this is one of the bonuses we're going to have for the Easy Oud Songs course. I'm gonna record a nice video for this and add it to the program. For anyone who enrolls this month, you're gonna have this bonus video completely free. I'm gonna be taking this down off the YouTube live after it's done, so you guys are the only ones who are viewing it. We'll keep it up for maybe a week or so and then take it down. We're gonna keep the beginner part there. But yeah, so this is going to be one of the bonus songs that you can learn. A very nice, beautiful, easy tune. Let me just play the song for you so you can hear how it sounds. If you want the notation for this, I'd be happy to send it to you. You just have to email me at support@OudforGuitarists.com, and I'd be happy to send you the notation for this. Alright, good questions. I'll be happy to answer shortly. Okay, let me just play this song for you so you can hear how it goes. We'll do the beginner version first and then the advanced version. 1, 2, 1, 2. In most cases, that ending repeats. Alright, the advanced version. nice song. Really grooving and really driving. Very beautiful piece. I really like it. So if you want to learn the beginner version, it's very easy. This is how it goes here. Get the notation up here. This out of the way. All right. So it's just a 2/4 rhythm. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and, right? And the rhythm, the real rhythm is malfouf. So it's doom tek tek doom tek tek da 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 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and 1 2 and. All right, and so we can get into that later, but the most important thing to learn first is what notes we're using. This is in Maqam Bayati. So the first note that we have in this Bayati Maqam is Re, or D. And then we have, with the first finger, E half flat, or Mi nus bemol, or Mi koron, and then third finger on F. Then we have G. Then we have A with the second finger, and really that's all we need. We don't even go up to A. The note, another note that we need is the C note, which is here with the third finger on the A string. Okay, let's learn some of these notes first before we do this. Okay, so let's practice Re. Just try to follow along with me, play these notes. Then about here. Now the way that this is a little secret tip that I'm showing you here, how to find the microtone, how to find the E koron, Mi nos bemol, Mi koron. You want to first be able to find the F. The F, if you can find F, then if you look at the between F where your third finger is and the nut, you can, if you put your index finger right in the middle between that point, you find the approximate placement for the koron note, or Mi nos bemol, the microtone, E half flat. Sounds like this. Try to match it. Try to match mine. Move your finger left or right, try to find it. Okay, now F. Good. Okay, now G. G is just the open string. Okay, now the C note. The C note is in the exact same position as where the F note is, so if you found that, just move your third finger to the A string. Okay. Let's go over the whole Bayati scale just to complete the information. So we have D, E half flat, F, G, A middle finger, B flat with the third finger, C, and then D. D with the middle finger. Okay, let's do the song. All right. So we have 1 and 2 and C, D, D, D. We're doing all downstrokes. C, D, 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 E. Again, 1 and 2 and 1. 1 and 2 and 1, and then F, F, E, E, D. So this is really easy because we're just going up to F and coming back down. We're starting on C, and then we're finishing the phrase on D. C, D, 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 E, F, F, E, E, D. Then we repeat this. Very easy. C, D, 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 E, simple. Now let's go to the next line. So that melody repeats a bunch of times, and then the second melody goes up to G. Same pattern, similar, very similar pattern. We have F, G, 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 F, G, 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 F, E. It's a nice pause on that crunchy E half flat. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then we go back to the main melody that we did before. C, D, 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 E, F, F, E, E, D. This is a great piece to follow and try to learn, because if you're having trouble hitting that E half flat, then this is the perfect lesson to follow and listen to and try to practice every day, because I'm isolating that note for you and you can try to copy and hear that. As long as your oud's in tune with mine, that D. Look at my fingers, look at the spacing between my fingers. Like that index finger is almost exactly in the middle between the nut and the third finger. All right, let's go over the whole thing. Let's see if I can get all the notes in here without covering the oud. Okay, we're just following the beginner line, okay? All right, 1 and 2 and C, D, 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 E, F, F, E, E, D, C, D, 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 E, F, F, E, E, D, F, G, 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 F, G, 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 F, F, E, C, D, 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 E, F, F, E, E, D. Alright, that's all there is to it. So I'm gonna show how to do the more one level up advanced version of this in the Easy Oud Songs course. If you're enrolled this month, you'll get access to that. I hope you enjoyed this easy little quick oud lesson to learn this song. So I'd like to answer some questions. Thanks so much for all these comments. I really love seeing all these comments, answering questions. I tried to keep this short because you guys obviously need some questions answered. All right, let's address some things here. Advice on tuning. All right, tuning, good question. Let me know if there's anything specific with that. Thanks for joining from Japan. Yes, I'm also in Japan, living in the Kansai region. All right, Sarah, how can I introduce myself to maqams? Okay, this is a good question, and the method that I use is that I go from something that's very basic, something that a melody that we've sung, from childhood. And so I follow a certain, when I give private lessons to people, I introduce maqams in a particular way. I start with maqam ajam because we typically can sing songs, nursery rhymes and stuff in this maqam. It's like the C major scale, it's just like a major scale. If you can sing Happy Birthday, you can learn the notes in maqam ajam. So it's very basic. Then I go to nahawand. Maqam nahawand is like the minor scale, or harmonic minor scale, and this is also very accessible. We hear a lot of music in this maqam, so it's very easy it's familiar to our ear. Then I go to maqam kurd. So if you're studying maqams by yourself, go in this pattern. I would recommend learn maqam ajam, maqam nahawand, then maqam kurd. Kurd is another maqam that uses just half steps and whole steps. So it's easier to play, easier to hear than the ones with microtones. After that, then study maqam hijaz. Hijaz is kind of in between these maqams that have microtones, the half flats or koron notes. And so then learn hijaz, because hijaz is also you can approximate on the piano, guitar, these kind of Western instruments. You can kind of fake it. Then from there, you can learn maqam rast, bayati, Sika. From then on, what else? What other maqam is there? Hijaz Kar. Then you can, those are most of the basic maqams, and then from there you can learn the compound maqams, or that take these basic structures and put them together. Maqam Nikris, Maqam Nawathar, and just keep going from there. So that's what I would recommend. Let's see. How do you control the movement from one position to another? Okay, I'm gonna just see if you have anything specific about that. So how do you control the movement? That's a good question. This is something that comes with practice. I mean, first you have to learn one position. So you have to learn one position well, so that you know where those notes are. So once you learn where the D note is, and you can hear it, you know the relationship between, okay, if my C note sounds like this, then my D note should sound like this. And you can use the open strings to find where, to calibrate this finger of yours. So you first need to learn one position, so that then you'll be able to more easily transition to the next position, because your ear will be the guide, not so much the physicality. Well, the physicality will be too, but look at my hand, the way that I change. My thumb doesn't move from first to second, doesn't move very much. I keep my thumb about a little bit farther away from this little joint here, about here. And so I can move between first position just by moving the base of my hand, my palm. My thumb kind of just hangs out there a little bit, and my palm can move forwards or backwards like this. So I can even reach a farther position, but I would probably slide up and slide back down at that point. So with my thumb in one place here, I can reach the first position and the second position. So watch. First position, second position. So first learn where the basic notes are, and then try to practice doing the same thing that you were doing with the first position with the second position. And that will be a bit weird at first, but practicing doing the same thing. For example, one thing you can do is do the C major scale. Once we learn all the basic notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. First do it in first position, master it, do it really well. Then try to do it in second position. So now instead of using the third finger for C, we use the second finger. All the fingers are shifted one note up. So I hope that will help, but that's what I would recommend. Just doing something in one position, mastering it, and then moving to another. And then as you develop and learn more songs, you can then, you'll encounter scenarios where you need to transition between both positions, and then you will integrate them. That's a good question. It takes some time and some exposure to different things. Okay, help me understand how trills are with the pinky finger. I've heard it on wind instruments, and it's just hard to pluck the strings and finger the right notes on the fingerboard. Yeah, so the pinky finger is the most weak finger. So what you have to do is you have to really go slow. Just do this movement. Get in your first position. Let's say holding the B note, B flat with your third finger, and then B natural with your pinky finger. Now when you do this, you need to kind of leave the other fingers a bit loose. They shouldn't be tight. Only the third finger and the fourth finger are being flexed here. These fingers are kind of loose. They should be close to the string, but not be using any muscle. And then just do slowly down, up, and slowly increase your speed over a few weeks. Already my finger is feeling tired already. But just practice that, and it should get better over time. But take breaks. Don't stress out your fingers too much. Shake it out. Try to play very clearly as well. As you get faster, it will then start to sound like that. And then you can practice the one-stroke trills. You can start slow too with the one stroke. Just do one stroke with the third finger on B flat, and then put the pinky finger down. And then will be able to do this in different positions wherever you need to do it. All right, let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm in Japan, so you won't be able to take lessons physically with me, but next year I am planning to do some possible retreats for a small group of oud players live in person. So I will be announcing something about that soon, maybe in the new year, but for next year. Let's see. Where do I buy an oud online? That's a very good question, and I have some answers for you. The ouds that I recommend, it always depends on your budget, but I would first check out here. So I recommend these ouds for beginners. You can buy them through there, and they're very good ouds. So yeah, you can start there. That's a good place to buy an oud. If you have any questions about the particulars, you can always email me as well. So what can you do to maintain your oud? You have to clean the oud with Vaseline? No. What about strings? Yeah, they do change strings. What you can do is get a microfiber fabric cloth like this, and you can wipe down your instrument every day. That helps. Get rid of some of the oil that your finger puts on the fingerboard. But that's all you have to do. My ouds sometimes collect a lot of dust because I don't touch anywhere else. You know, I just touch certain places. You can just wipe down the instrument like this to clean it. But the most important thing for maintaining the oud is to try to control the humidity, and that's always a challenging thing with instruments. So that's the most important thing. You know, you don't want too much humidity for too long a period of time. You don't want too much dryness for too long of a period of time. So you may need to protect your oud by putting it in the case when it's very cold and dry, and likewise when it's humid, and protect it with a case. That'd be good. Let's see here. But yeah, there's nothing you really have to do. You know, I don't recommend any particular oils. I know some people like lemon oil for the fingerboard, but you have to be careful which wood you use that lemon oil with. I don't use anything like that, really. Just treat your instrument with respect. That's about it. It's amazing sometimes you buy secondhand ouds and you just like see the kind of things that people have done to their ouds, scratching stuff on the soundboard and things. Why do people do that? Just treat your oud with respect, take care of it. It'll be okay. Humidity is the most important thing. All right. All right, let's see here. Yeah, issues tuning because of the pressure of the pegs. Yeah, for sure. Pegs are always challenging at the beginning. Each peg kind of has its own personality, and you have to learn how it turns. And then you have to know how much to press the peg in or loosen it. And when the humidity changes, then yeah, it affects that too. Yeah. Let's see here. So third position and reaching the last note on the string. So there are different positions on the oud here, but you have to shift. And I recommend doing some scales. Like for example, if you want, let's do the notes in the C major scale: C, D, E, F, G. It depends on where you're going and coming back, but that determines which finger you use. For example, if I'm just going up and coming back down, I might do this. 1, 3, shift 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, open. Another option would be so shifting 1, 1, 2, 4, 2, 1, 1. I'm talking about the fingers when I say the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. If you need to go higher than that, then you need to use a different way of going up. You need to perhaps go like this. That's more complicated, and you may choose to use the other string when coming down. So then I shift to G with my first finger because it's very quick. Don't go like this. Don't move with the pinky finger. It's not going to sound good. It's not going to be accurate. Only do that if you're really good. You got really good at doing that, and you're going to be coming down immediately. Because if you're going up, it's going to be very difficult. You want to have fingers available for when you're going up, and you want to have small jumps when you're moving down, so that you are able to do it. But it always depends on the maqam you're playing, the context, what you need to do, where you're going and coming. So sometimes there's many different combinations that you'd use. So that's a good question. All right. I keep the strings tuned. If I leave the oud for a long time, I have a lot of ouds. So sometimes I don't play some of them for a long time. Yeah, I might loosen them a little bit, just half a note or something, half a step, maybe one note difference. But I don't really do that a lot. Yeah, if you're gonna store your oud for a long time, it'd be a good idea to loosen the strings. Hi Pablo. Yeah, I would recommend that you avoid antique ouds because you're probably gonna need something that needs some work, some repair. If it's in good condition, and it's an antique, it'll probably be very expensive. But if it's a cheap one, then of course there's gonna be something wrong with it. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're keen on getting an antique and having it repaired by somebody who's professional and knows what they're doing. The fingerboard, if it's white, they probably used some kind of material to fill in the fingerboard. That's very common on older ouds. Sometimes it's mother of pearl, sometimes it's another material. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually very nice. Different material other than wood. New ouds these days, they're making everything out of ebony. I don't know why that's the case. I really like in the older style of fingerboard with the mother of pearl. That's really beautiful. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the oud in particular just because it has a white fingerboard. All right, so I gotta go. I have a student coming up on the hour, so thanks so much for joining me today. And if you have any additional questions, just email me. I'd be happy to spend some time and answer your email. I'll get to it eventually. I don't respond to emails right away, but I will in a few days or so. If it's not urgent. Yeah. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. The next YouTube live will be next month. Make sure you check the schedule. The schedule is on my website, OudforGuitarists.com. And yeah, so Also, if you're interested in the promotion that's happening and interested in getting more bonuses with the Easy Oud Songs course that I have, then check out the newsletter. The link is in the description. Sign up for the newsletter and you will hear about the promo and you'll have a chance to enroll. Yeah, so thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day, weekend, wherever you might be. Yeah, bye.